Hello and welcome back. It's only been over a year since my last video. Sorry about that, it's just the way it is. I haven't got around to making one. And you know, I would love to make more, but it's just difficult when you've got other commitments. So I will try to rectify that and make sure I don't leave it for another year. So today I'm going to talk about a hair removal product that I'm very familiar with because I've been using this type of product for years and I've seen how it's changed. So and I'm not afraid of it. It is an epilator, and the one I've got in my hand is by Braun. It's a Silk Epil 7, which is the latest model on the market from them, and it comes in this box like this with various parts. It's actually called SkinSpa Epilation Sonic Exfoliation System, and let me tell you, the clue is in that big name, because you'll know why it's so different to previous epilators from Braun and possibly others on the market. I do apologise, by the way, if you hear a noise in the background. That will probably be the annoying train. I live near a railway line and I can't control the trains rushing by on a Saturday night. As I said, I'm very familiar with epilators, and Braun in particular. I have been using theirs for a long time, and I've seen how they have changed over the years. And what I like about Braun is that every time they bring out a new model, they'll make sure it's bigger and better than the one before. And I was very excited from when their last model came out. I believe that was the first wet and dry epilator, meaning that you could actually use it in the shower and at the bar and in the bath, as well as dry, and using it in those conditions would make the actual experience less painful and more comfortable. And I think that is true, because when your skin's wet and when it's moist, your pores are open and it hurts less to pull out the hairs. Just like when you pluck your eyebrows, it's best to do it after a shower because your pores are open. So they've obviously adapted that rule to this device. So if you're not familiar with how an epilator works, it looks like an electric lady shaver, except rather than shaving its hairs, it plucks them out at a great speed, and it will pluck out even the tiniest, shortest hairs. According to Braun, that is 0.5 millimeters, which is like a grain of sand. So it can do what waxing can't, and it will give you longer lasting results than shaving. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And the great thing about these now is that they are cordless. They have been cordless for years. You charge it up. I think this one will probably run 40 minutes on fully charged, and then you can plug it in and you can use it through the mains as well. It comes with various parts which all slot into the actual handheld device, depending on what you want to use it for. So as you can see, that's the main body, and then this is the actual epilator part. I've stuck it in, and then when I switch it on, it comes with 2 speeds, by the way, and depending on how you like it. And there's also a little light as well to help you see the hairs. So that's kind of, yeah, okay. That's how it works. There are other parts, as I mentioned. They've actually included a shaving head with a foil thing on it, which I don't actually bother with, because if I want to shave, I much prefer using a wet shave razor blade than these. I don't think these are they don't produce neat results. I have used this in the past and I haven't been impressed with it, so I don't personally bother with it. And I mean, honestly, I don't know what I meant to do with this bit. I mean, what's it for? Is it in case you want to shear your lamb or something? Because who has hair that big and thick that will just get anyway, I'm not going to bother with that. But other parts that come for the epilator are these 2 heads, which can be used. You basically have to take the top part of this epilator off first, and then you've got to put the other heads on depending on what you want to use it for. And they've got two heads here. One is for, you know, sensitive areas. I assume that means like your bikini or your underarms. And the other one, which is slightly smaller, is for facial hair. And you're probably wondering, why do you need to put these heads on it? Because they're going to pull the hairs out like, you know, like it would normally would if you're using it on your legs. But I guess it's because there's only a very small space, a very small opening there, and that helps to kind of control the epilator. If you had the full head visible, I think it would hurt like hell. So I only use the epilator on my legs because that's where I need it. Well, that's where I'm happy using it. I've had my underarms done with laser, so I don't need to use epilators there. In the past I did, and I did find it extremely painful, but I've spoken to some girls and they use an epilator on their underarms without any problems. But as I said, I've had lasers, so I'm not going to start using an epilator there, otherwise the hairs will grow back. So I can't comment on that part. I also can't comment on something like the bikini area because I leave that to a professional. So yes, I only use it on my legs, and I do prefer using it after I've been in the shower or if I'm in the bath, because it hurts less, definitely. And you know, I can take my pain, but I think it's, you know, given the choice, I'd rather not have to endure all that. So I do prefer to use it in the bath, and I would recommend it for people who are thinking of trying an epilator but are too scared. Then you really need to go for something like this, because it will let you use it in the bath or the shower, and then depending on how brave you're feeling, maybe you can move on to dry. Anyway, that's how it works. So it's no different to the previous model that I've used from Braun. So you know, what's it going to do that's going to be any different to the previous model? Nothing. The previous model had light 2, it had 2 speeds, and I'm happy with that. But the difference with this model is it comes with an extra part, which is whoops, it is a brush that looks spookily like a Clarisonic, and this is where it. Sorry, I'm fiddling here. I'm trying to put it on. That's basically the difference with this model, is because it's got a brush head that you can swap your epilator for, and this is what it looks like. I've just taken it apart and I'm going to put it back on again. This is what it is. That's simple as that. That's all you get with this model, is you get a brush head, which you can. I've just turned it on. Ooh. That's all it is, really. And the idea is that you only use it on your body. You can't use it on your face, because the bristles are quite, I guess they're quite rough. They're not recommended, they're not designed for the face. So you just, you know, put your favourite shower gel on and away you go. And so the point of the brush is that it's just to exfoliate your skin and remove the dead skin, rather like a Clarisonic Plus, which I've never used, so I can't comment on how it compares, but I'm just guessing this is like it because it's just for the body only. And I think it's probably better to use it first and then epilate, because the exfoliation hopefully, you know, bring up any ingrowing hairs or just remove the skin, the dead skin, so you can like epilate properly afterwards. That's all there is, really. It's easy peasy to use. I'm not sure how committed I would be to using this, because it does take a while. Although it's rotating very fast, I just sometimes can't be bothered with that, and I just use an exfoliating mitt or just like a body scrub in the shower. So, but I suppose if you've got a few hours and you're in the bath and you've got the candles burning and you just want to relax, and you've got all the time in the world to exfoliate and then epilate. If you don't have a wet and dry epilator, then I suggest you get it, because it will change your life. Well, it will certainly make the experience of epilating a lot bearable. I should say it's not recommended for everybody, so if you're pregnant, diabetic, or you've got varicose veins, you're not meant to use this. And if you've never used an epilator before, then you know, approach with caution. You may experience a bit of a reaction to it. I know I used to, when I first started using epilators, I would you know, I'd use it, and then after a few hours I'd get lots of bumps on my legs, and then it would, you know, it would go down after a few hours, but that was just the initial reaction to using it. But I'm used to it now, and it never happens, doesn't happen anymore. I like what Helen said about, Helen is my blogging partner, I love what Helen said about using an epilator. She said she looked like a plucked chicken. Oh, hang on a minute, there's a train there. Anyway, so yeah, I like it. I think it's lovely to, it's easy to hold. You know, it's very ergonomic, really good for that thing, and it does its job amazingly. It does pull out all the smallest hairs. It's really good, and you don't have to keep going over the same area several times. Pretty much, I think maybe once or twice it will pull out all the hairs. So, you know, it's a superior epilator, I will say that. It just comes with a brush, and I'm not sure I personally would use the brush all the time. I don't use the shaving head at all. I'm not keen on that personally. But you know, it depends. It should. It is designed to remove hair from all over the body. So depending on what you want to use it for, I think it's perfect for legs. If you are feeling a lot brave and you want to use it on your bikini area or your underarms, then you know, well, go for it. Anyway, that's my video. I hope I've made some sense, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. I wish I had an auto cue, but I've had to completely improvise, as all of you do. So hopefully I may make another one soon, and if not, I do apologise for this one. God, stupid, another train, for crying out loud. I'm sorry if this was boring, but you know, hey, that's just me. Bye!